All right, 5 o'clock on a Monday. You guys know the drill. Let's hit the books. Part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish. Producer extraordinaire Zach Phillips, not with us. Other prior obligations. We said the guy would be in much demand, so we appreciate Jason filling in here. And I'm merely Brad Powers. Before we get in your questions, comments, concerns, before we recap a very busy weekend of college football bowl action, before we talk the bowl game going currently, and before we talk New Year's Eve, New Year's Day bowls, let me remind everybody that Hit the Books is indeed brought to you by FanDuel, and you can make every moment more during the first ever college football playoffs with a win on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Love FanDuel, first to market, FBS, FCS, sides, totals, win totals, you name it. FanDuel's got you covered. And right now, FanDuel does have you covered with some great offers for the quarterfinal round. All customers can get a no-sweat token for all the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day bowl games. One token to use on either day, whether it's that big Fiesta Bowl game between Penn State and Boise State or the 3 games on New Year's Day. There is an unrestricted PBT for each standalone game, that PBT being a profit boost token for all those New Year's Eve and New Year's Day games. 1 PBT for each game, and you can use your bets on spreads, live bets, totals, so much more. What you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/hitthebooks to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. Disclaimer, you must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions do apply, including any token expiration. You need to see terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg/help.com. Knish, how was your weekend, buddy?
No complaints. You know what? Thank you to Green Bay for now making next week in all or nothing. Give it Lions, Vikings. So can't count on the pack people for anything. But college football couldn't complain. Little Lions on Monday night tonight in a game that doesn't mean anything anymore, and bowl season playoff continues on here. So, I've got a pretty good one going at the moment. A lot more scoring than you would have thought.
Yeah, and we hedged out. We had Mizzou originally -2.5. We took Iowa was at +3 on Friday or either Saturday show, thinking that the Iowa would end up being the right side. Market agreed with that, with Iowa, closing 1.
Yeah.
And
then
it
looks like, I think Theo Wease is out for the rest of the game. But I mean, Missouri did just go down and
scored. So a good one. Big Ten performing well so far. The only non-cover is the only game that seems to be talked about. Indiana not deserving to be there, but every other Big Ten's covered. Best bets. I think we're 6-6 now. We did not have a good Saturday. BC had high trips inside the 35-yard line of Nebraska, 0 points.
That one hurt.
And the Arkansas game was, out in front of a 7.5-point move. No shot there. We hedged the Miami game. I'm glad we did. And NC State, oof. The misery of the ACC continues. What a no-show that was.
That was one, right as that was getting closer to kickoff. I was like,
we were greedy on that one. We shouldn't have given that out. We were just giving out the trading at 7 across the board, and we at 6.5.
I agree. Do you have any? This has been the online discourse of everybody gets mad about everything nowadays, which I am guilty of sometimes as well. The Cam Ward sitting the second half thing, like who?
I don't know. I thought that was already like.
I know. That was like people were like, "Oh my God, how could he quit on his team?" It's like, what? The guy played a half. How many quarterbacks would have even played in that game in the last 10 years in the NFL draft?
I'm sure he got paid to play.
I'm sure too.
I don't have a problem with how it went down. We kind of thought there was much more than a greater than 0% chance of it happening pre-flop. We said, hey, he might not play the whole game. He's going to play, but maybe not the whole. I understand Miami wanting to get a good look at their quarterback. And they probably got a good enough to look to say, we need to go out and get a quarterback.
To find us a portal guy. I tell you what, you want to talk about missed opportunities. I think that Miami offense was the best offense in the country, and you don't make the playoff. You don't win it. You don't win a bad ACC. like
You
what
don't
did
win the
you?
Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Yeah, you get a brown cinnamon sugar Pop Tart, opening up on you that that while you lose to Iowa State there that was a missed opportunity because for the money they were spending, if you just even had a decent defense, that's a team that should have been in the playoff.
And it should have been a team that could have won at 1 or 2 playoff games.
Right. And I mean, you're going to have a top 5, maybe the number 1 overall pick with, things are, and that was disappointing. If you're a Miami fan, you gotta have a bad taste in your mouth the way that season came to close.
And could have been worse too. Fortunate in the Cal game, fortunate against Virginia Tech. Boy, we'll see. They got a tough one to open up next year. We'll see.
Yep.
I can't wait for that one.
Your boy Mario, I don't know.
Yeah, they're in trouble. I got to also question, when you put $20 million into a team and that's your ROI, are they going to be willing to spend that much again? I'm guessing a few people probably won't be. I wouldn't be.
That's like the unspoken thing of NIL where, you see these numbers thrown around and it's like, you have to go. It's not like, where the NFL salary cap, you're getting that much. You have to continually go to these donors and come back. Like if you're Ohio State, you lose this game, you've lost and you have a few big donors that are like, I'm not supporting this, Ryan. Like I'm not supporting this anymore. I'll give you money when you switch coaches. And then it's like, well, now we don't have 20 million. Now we got 10. So
that's something we're going to have to look into.
Yeah.
I wish they'd, but I actually think from what I'm hearing, Congress is going to step in and there's going to be like 20 million available, at least 20 million on the books.
Yeah. So it seems that way. They've also got to get the
portal's got to be fixed.
It has to. This is where we're going. I know we get on. This is because this is people. We love this sport, and so we get on these tangents. But you can't. Every case that the NCAA gets taken to trial, they lose. So it's like everything just keeps unwinding. Like the JUCO laws, the portal movement, the one-time transfer, loss. And so now it's like, anybody could sue them and get an extra year. I could be like, you know what, Joey K, I walked on Ann Arbor's campus a few times. I want another year. And they'd be, oh, yep, you win. See you at fall camp.
I think contracts will help, where you have less of it. But the NCAA pretty much fails to exist anymore, right?
At least in football, it's like a sport just being on its own right now. I don't know how they really solve it. Because then it's like, who are you entering a contract in? What is that going to? Then can you transfer? Can you break the contract? I don't know. So, but something has to change because it's just insane right now. And for the good of the sport, that's not us being like, oh, these stupid kids getting paid. Like, I don't care about paying players, but to have just mass free agency every year.
Free agency every semester. Hell, spring. I don't like where I'm at. I transfer out. I mean, come on now.
There has to you're taking away the sport at its core of being part of a team, working towards a goal together, like that. Even sports that have player movement, pro sports have that. Now it's they got to be careful because a lot of old
they're taking the popularity for granted. I know it's popular right now, but NBA.
I totally agree. You take this for granted, and then all of a sudden, people got a lot of options of what they want to watch. So
it's a TV show, and people stop. And college basketball used to be a lot more popular too.
Great comp.
So
in the 90s, regular season college ball was big time. People the young bucks won't believe us, but that college basketball used to be a thing, and now it's a month.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So that stars of the show. We got a whole offseason to talk about it. Stars of the show being you guys in the chat. Jason in the chat. He was first. NFL. We like it though. It's the Lions. What are the Lions doing tonight? Joey K. I'm leaning under 50. I agree with the under.
Yeah, me too. That's of the play. I actually made that bet. Of the plays that are out available. I like that. I don't
want to best bet it.
We'll call us. People will say if you got a 50 or better, we're on it. I will say I don't. The Lions and they're not doing any of that sitting, resting play. I would be shocked if they did any of that type of thing. Even though game theory, analytic, maybe it's the right call. They're not going to do that. So
not to the team that eliminated you next year. Dan can't wait.
No, Dan.
He doesn't have that in him.
And I honestly, I don't know the week before a big game, like if that.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your edge.
Yeah. So
keep it rolling. Keep your edge. Win this game. Win next week, and then you can rest for a week. I agree. D-Lee 23 in the chat. What do you guys make of the Baylor game? Trying to decide if and when to middle with an early Baylor bet. Thanks, boys. What do you got on that bet? You got 3? Baylor plus 3? I just let it ride.
Yeah, me too. Got some Baylor myself. I haven't done much middling in bowl season. Just because, you know what, and we
almost middled that Iowa State and Miami game. I thought we were for a minute.
I thought we were too. You would have, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that Wazoo at the close would have been good.
Would have been a middle.
Yeah,
but it still required them scoring a touchdown with 10 seconds left to do that. So somebody's bitching at me on Twitter like, you said it would be good. MFer, I was telling you for a month to bet the game, and you bet it 5 minutes before kick, and you're crying to me that it didn't cover. Jesus. I just think I looked at the 3-point or more move size and totals. Even if you bet 5 minutes before kick, like, oh, that line moves, somebody knows something, you're still profiting. So what does that tell me? There hasn't been a lot of middling opportunities is what it's telling me. So now keep your Baylor bet. I think it's a good one. There's other people that are on that I respect. Mr. Travis Hunter's on that. Johnny Bravo. Man, did he? I got one for you. Boy, did Tent really handicap that appropriately. Did you see the coverage of that BYU Colorado game? What a disgrace. I mean, they're just showing Sports Center, ESPN. I got to watch what I say. I'm on ESPN tomorrow, Wednesday. The main show I'm going to be on. So I got to watch what I say. But still, it's a disgrace. The only highlight they showed was Hunter's touchdown in a game they're getting beat by 30 freaking points. What a joke. Oh.
Listen.
I probably buried the lead. Another head-to-head.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tip the cap. Another head-to-head. That was there was no fluke in that one. BYU just buried them.
Start to finish. Johnny Bravo, thoughts on Tez Johnson longest reception over 23.5? I lean that way.
I lean that way too. You know what? I thought his receiving yardage prop was a bit. I was just looking through those in that game. I didn't want to play his up, but in terms of longest reception, I like that better than the receiving yardage prop, Johnny. So I don't hate that.
We'll get to that. We might. We'll have more thoughts on this Rose Bowl here in a second. Keep in mind, we are doing a halftime tomorrow. A big game, huge game. I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than Alabama, Michigan. We're doing the halftime
two
tomorrow.
Blue Bloods, 2 of the most recent national champs. It doesn't. I agree.
This Michigan roster's in trouble.
Boy,
so
yeah.
I think it's more about the future. Boy, Bryce Underwood looks good. Holy cow!
I saw.
Have you seen the practice pics of him? He's ready to go.
Can he play tomorrow?
Can he play tomorrow?
Hey, I'll give me a half of Bryce Underwood. I'd rather, if you want me to watch this guy, I'd rather see that than what we're going to be throwing out there. I agree with you. I was actually at a casino in town last night running.
Did you finally bet it? I had
yeah,
to.
Me too.
It's not the best number, but bam.
Me neither. I didn't. There was a juice 12.5, which I took. I saw you give. I think they're going to lose like 40-17 or so maybe not even. Honestly, I just think they get like with the team they're putting out there.
Let me ask you this win total, and if you don't know, Michigan's top 8. What out of their top? If you stack rank their top 10 players, 8, 9 of them are not playing?
Yeah.
Take them out. What would be the win total on Michigan? At the start of the season, if you removed these 8 guys, 8 starters, what would their win total be? 4?
Right. I mean, yeah.
I'm not even joking though.
It would have been. I would have said 6, but they only went 7-6 with those guys. So, but no, I know. I hear what you're saying. I'm more like the offense And again, I know their defense was the sore, and some of those guys. I think the defense has some guys in terms of depth. The offense is going to be like, both backs are out. The left tackle Hinton's out.
Loveland's out.
Loveland's out. Our
One of the
only
wide
receiver that
receivers
caught any
out.
balls all years in the portal. I mean, I don't know how we're going to score 10 points.
I agree. I almost said, Zach, pull that up. I'm so used to saying that. Jason, can you pull up their team total? I just want to see that since it's already gotten away from us as far as I agree with you as far as I don't see forget scoring. I don't know how they get first downs because Alabama doesn't have that many opt-outs on the defense. A couple guys are injured, but let's see here. Just got to scroll down on FanDuel. Nope. Yeah, I'll figure it out. Team total under.
Michigan total points 13.5.
Oh, there it is. Under. So I wish it was 14. We'd be having a best bet there.
Yeah.
I think we didn't get the right price, but I can only look towards. I think it's going to close. Would you be surprised if it closed like 16.5, 17?
No.
There would I.
I think it's already leaking that way. Once there was no buy at 14, then I think next stop 17.
Yeah. Guy asked in the chat, hey guys, total a bit higher on that Penn State game. Still like the under. Did we give out the under? I know we talked about it, we leaned about it. I don't know. No, I'm not so much on it. I think Penn State's the side.
Yeah, I mean, I lean that way, but again, nothing that I would consider best bet territory. Same thing. The numbers now, it's been leaking up to. I saw some 12s out there, so
I think Penn State's the side.
Yeah, me too.
I just did a deep dive, spent like an hour on the game. Penn State's the side. You got to.
What do you think of that? That Arizona State big move on Arizona State over the weekend.
Oh, from 14 down to 11.5?
Yeah.
I prefer Texas at current.
Current. I agree with you.
I guess I understand the 14, although I don't know, man. I honestly think Arizona State's in worse shape than Boise State. I mean, with Tyson not playing, and I trust Texas's defense more than I do Penn State's defense. What are the options here?
I don't know. This is one I think I'm going to wait. Like, I don't think any shot we see a 10 at a flat 11. Are you a go on Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, definitely. I might still go anyway, as it is. And Arizona State's like talking. We're chirping a little bit.
Yeah, I will say, old Dilly, he doesn't mind lathering up in those. Yeah. So I tell you what, this is one of those. If this game was at number one, this game was at Arizona State, they're probably like you would need about the National Guard on the campus to control the drinking for this one. But this would be a fantastic at campus game. Same with the Boise game.
It would be much better on campus.
Yeah.
Speaking of on-campus drinking, I see you're honorary member of Bryant University.
I'm a Bryant. I'm like I might be on staff there at Bryant. What do they call I'm going to teaching the course there over at Bryant. So yeah,
I remember that tweet. That's from like 2 years ago, and they framed it, put it on a banner. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know I was around the sorority houses. The sororities and fraternities.
Is that a sorority house too?
Taylor, our girl Taylor, had this up in the dorm room. The calling card of Bryant University. I will say I remember that game so vividly watching that. There was some kind of like on-court incident where the Bryant students were like waiting to rush the court, and those kids were hammered. Like it was quite a scene. I think they had won. It was something like they won the first conference title in forever. So good for them.
Guy also asked about North Dakota State. I'm not there yet. +4. Meaning I'm not there yet as far as wanting to dive in on this one. Keep in mind, if you don't like me and Knish, I'm afraid I got some bad news because you're going to see us tomorrow. You're going to see us on Thursday. You'll see us next Monday leading into that game. So I'd rather talk as we get closer because if we talk, people listen, and I don't want to I don't want to talk too much yet on that one. Nick G, any rumors on where the South Dakota State quarterback could be heading? Yeah, I could see. I mean, obviously there'll be a market for him.
Yeah.
He's not going to follow with the coach to Washington State. They need a quarterback unless Eckhouse kid is still staying there from Bryant.
Well,
have you heard anything? He played pretty well.
He looked good.
Speaking of kids playing hard, I mean, these kids are playing at Washington State. Kids played hard. Man.
Yeah. He looked really good. And they talked it up during the game that competition with Mateer, like in the preseason, was like razor thin.
It looked like it the way he played.
Duck says likely to Northwestern. I think that'd be a good spot. He's definitely a lower tier Power 4 talent in terms of quarterback. So to me, like,
he almost went to Northwestern this past year. That's why I bet Oklahoma State in the opener, because there's rumors like in the offseason that he was going to go to Northwestern this past season. And the North Dakota or the South Dakota State Oklahoma State game was like available in the market already.
And I mean, if you're like, you probably got 1 year to cash in on football. Like, for him saying, like, he's not it. Maybe he's I don't know, a training camp guy or something, but he's not an NFL talent. So
yeah, this is your year to make 7 figures.
Yeah. You can make, at least $500,000. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it.
Richard in the chat, happy holidays to you guys. Right back at you, Richard. Thanks for all you do here in Maryland. We cannot bet on college player props. Do you think that will become reality in other states? Richard, thanks for your thoughts. I don't think so. It's too big a business now.
I know that. Well, here's the thing.
But is there whispers? I mean, you're.
Well, it depends on your state. The other thing is what's left of the NCAA and Charlie Bay or whatever. Like they've been trying to push like, oh, our kids are getting harassed, and that for. I don't think most states will go with it, but as you said, Maryland's not the only place. There's been a couple of states that have taken those off the board. So, I hope not. I hope this doesn't gain more steam, but it's something the NCAA has actually like tried to push. I would tell if Joey K's running, the state legislature, I wouldn't even take a meeting with that guy.
Onion Man, speaking of player props, Gunnar Stockton all over 299.5 rush yards. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on that game? Notre Dame took a little bit of money today.
I mean, I don't necessarily, that doesn't necessarily surprise me. I still kind of
gotta see it.
Yeah, lean with you on Georgia on the side.
Jerry in the chat, I'm with you on Tommy Finn. Got a Boise tick at 100-1 and 20-1 to win it all. Long shot bet, you never know.
I mean, you never know you're going to hit the Powerball either, but sometimes.
Well done.
So many things have to happen for them to win, 3 straight where they're going to be double-digit dogs. So,
yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Anything, egg in the chat, anything occurring on Baylor, South Carolina, or Washington games, not involved in any of them as now. I like Baylor, but man, we missed the boat there. Probably too late to the party. South Carolina, I haven't really bet. I'm anxious to your thoughts on that. I think Washington's the side. The more I think about that, Washington is the side in this game.
It's trickling that way too.
Trickling, I think they close favorite.
No, I say down from 2.5. There's some 1.5, some ones popping. It does look like they're
number one. The ACC, the worst bowl season ever for any conference, 0-10. Yeah. And you look at who they got left, and it's like, oh my God, this could be 0-13. And the only straight up win is against the worst, the most ravaged team in the history of the bowls, Washington State, and even that one sucked for the most part. That wasn't impressive. You got anything on South Carolina, Illinois? You're Mr. Big Ten.
I know our friend played the over there. I agreed with that. But now, that's up a few points. Illinois was a team that I didn't believe in all effing year, and they just kept biting me. Do I really want to lay that price though with South Carolina in a bowl game? No, I don't.
Dog or pass, or maybe a pizza bet on Illinois plus 10. Travion Henderson over 47.5 rush yards. Hold on. This is egg in the chat.
Yeah.
Is that a good segue?
I like
that is a good segue. All right, let's just hit him with it. Rose Bowl, big one. Ohio State, Oregon. I like the over. I think you do as well. Let's hit it. Same game parlay.
Yep, SGP, baby, for the weekend. Egg, you're reading my mind, my friend. The dog.
Well, that's I gotta go bet the Ducks right now. The dogs.
Yeah. I was gonna say the dog. Yeah, is loving especially if you walk. There's probably a duck walking by my house right now. She's barking at here. But
Yeah.
Jason, do you have the SGP from the chat?
Yeah, I can build it on screen if you guys want.
Oh, yeah. Okay. First one's going to be over 55.5 there. We like that. Oh, look at that. On the move already. Going to get a little bit of a price there. But, yeah, the Ducks. Our man, the Duck in the chat. Over 55. It was a price we both liked in terms of that game. The Travion Henderson rushing yards. I think, Henderson's up a bit. If you have that, I really like. And again, I think 47.5 is not. If you got 47.5, you play that number, my friend. But I agree. I like the Henderson over in terms of his rushing yardage. Next one's gonna be a couple of. I think Oregon in this game was gonna be more like a little bit more pass happy, keeping it around. So we've got Evan Stewart over 42.5. Played some Stewart overs, got burned before. I'm going back to the well, baby. And then Dylan Gabriel over 245 passing yards. So 560. The over just took a little bit of a hit there. So 563. There's the old FanDuel Ohio State, Oregon SGP for the weekend. Of those four, Henderson over rushing, definitely
That's your favorite
there.
Yeah, I like it. I saw when that came in. I'm like, I like it. I think it's a track meet. I know that it sounds so easy, but a lot of the easy shit's cashed this bowl season. I was looking at it. I think if you bet against the team without the starting quarterback, you're 8-3. You bet against the team that has 6 or more starters opting out or transfer portal, you're like 9-4. You bet against the team with 20 or more players in the portal, you're like 6-2. Like all this stuff, so easy. I don't even have to just look at it. Oh, that one I think's easy. Over nearly 6-1 odds for our friends at FanDuel. Make sure you're checking out that same game parlay. Since we've been talking a lot of player props and you got 3 of them in that same game parlay, I also would be remiss not to say that if you're looking to beat the college football and basketball player prop market, it's time to try BetStamp Pro. The odds screen our friends at BetStamp have created to highlight market-based edges across any prop type. It's essential for top-down bettors. BetStamp's developed a highly efficient, reliable market-based true line that incorporates unique market-specific adjustments powered by real-time data from over 50 sports books. Plus, BetStamp Pro features a user-friendly layout that allows you to view line history for any prop with ease. You need to visit betstamp.com/HTB to get the Hit the Books exclusive trial pricing and a free demo. A limited number of spots are available, so act quickly. Back to the chat. 20 MC20 over at the Fiesta Bowl in the Slick Field. Is that the rumor? Slick
Field, huh?
I don't know. Remember last year's Fiesta Bowl? I mean, it's just Oregon scoring. I'll have to look into that. I know they've had footing issues there, but sometimes, I mean, that could go either way. Can't get your foot. Yeah.
And sometimes, right, can hurt at both sides. I mean, you want to? We mentioned it on the Saturday show, but that field at Yankee Stadium, Slick Field, like. What are we done with the playing football at baseball stadiums? Like, I mean, what is wrong with what does that draw any? I know we're not done with it ever because
money. Another obvious thing. You know what I bet at when those lines came out? I bet the unders at those 2 games. Outside and shitty weather, under. Just so, I mean, some of this is just
who's going there? Who's like, oh, I want to go watch, the Pop-Tart Bowl at Yankee Stadium in late December.
Pinstripe Bowl.
The Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great because it's got pinstripe. Yankee pinstripe. Oh, then I'm gonna go watch 2 terrible teams with half their team opted out at Yankee Stadium on a trash field when it's 30 degrees out.
You would have been all over
that. Who signed up for that?
You'd have been all about it if BC would have covered. No, I'm joking. That was rough. Guy asked Minnesota -8. I know it keeps going higher, but I don't have access to a book until January 2nd. What number would you give you pause? I still think they're the right side. I mean, the ACC's terrible. Big Ten's overperforming. And VT quietly, I started diving in. I'm like, man, these guys have like 13, 14 starters out. They're decimated. Minnesota.
I think it goes towards 10.
Yeah, I don't know if it goes to 10, but I think it's going 9.5-ish.
Gerard, you've been to 4 pinstripe, something to do in NYC. Something to do in NYC. They're the greatest city. What do you mean you can't find something to do in NYC? There's something to do on every block. You're gonna go outside to a pinstripe bowl? Jesus, Jerry, say it ain't so. All right, keep going.
Kirk in the chat. We got a ton of chat. This is unbelievable. Theo Weiss for Mizzou and Moulton for Iowa are 2 to keep an eye on out here for player props for next year. I haven't watched. Have you watched a ton of this game today? I got to rewatch it.
No, I really did.
Now I got a tie ball game. Man, I got so many of these media obligations. I miss stuff like this, including this one. Shame on Moretto for getting me to work while there's a game. I'm joking. I got to rewatch it. We hedged out. That's kind of where I was on my position. So I was just like,
Yeah, I mean, Missouri by 3. Wouldn't hate that.
Good point. Alex in the chat, any prop angles for Bama, Michigan? Milroe, 2 touchdowns plus 230. I don't hate that. I think more unders on Michigan. I mean, can they get first downs? I don't know.
I honestly like that.
Who's calling plays?
I think
plays?
well, so I think technically they elevated Kasula
okay. I actually like
to
him.
OC, but
I actually like him.
My guess is Sharon Moore calls most of them. So
yeah, okay. I don't mind that guy though. John Stuff, North Carolina over under 7.5 wins. I mean, my gut says under, but let's see how they fill out the roster. ACC so bad. I would, it'd be a slam dunk under for me, but that conference sucks. So I mean, there's probably opportunity. I mean, I want to see who's playing quarterback.
It is because you can really if the money that they supposedly
they're spending, exactly.
You can just spend it and have a brand new team.
Yep. And a guy, I mean, if they're competent X's and O's wise, then I don't think that's great. And I'm tired of putting my money up for 11 months just to lose. Forget that. I'm done with that. Tommy, I'm really pissed about that. Last chance to get on Boise money line. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Tommy.
All right. I mean, you warned us.
I'm not going to
be there,
warning, but you warned us.
Zach, we'll give you credit. Tommy Finn, we'll give you credit. You can clip this up. And Boise wins, we'll give you credit, Tommy. I'm not there, though. Zach Bowman in the chat. Locked in on UW, fade ACC. Yep. We too late for Bama? I don't think so. I think the line's going up on Bama.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I mean, you could like throw some, pocket change on some Bama alt spreads, minus 27.5 or something like that. The team that they're putting on the field, especially offensively, is woof.
Trip with a super chat. Long time OG listener, Trip. Big time. Big thanks to Brad and Knish for a great 2024. Let's make 2025 even better. I hope it's better. Then this show will get rolling. Maybe we'll see
I was going to say, Trip,
maybe you and I will see some money then.
Yeah. I was going to say, Trip, we will. I tell you what, 2025 goes well. We're going to need some agents here to redo the contract.
Yeah. It'll be the Hammer Betting Network owned by Knish and Powers. No, I'm joking. Crave fan, he's got an interesting question. I know college teasers are usually no bueno. Agree. Notre Dame, Minnesota, 6-point Wong teaser. Solid play. Yeah, Notre Dame. I mean, that's consensus 1 now, 7.5. I love Minnesota. You could do worse. Very low totals in the 40s. I'm not going to sit here and say no to that one. What about you?
Yeah, I don't hate that. I agree with that. There's some certain situations, again, the lower totals, both, through the keys there. I don't hate it, especially if you can find some of those, depends where you shop. Sometimes the college teaser, you can get a discount on the juice. So if you got something that's not too bad, don't pay like minus 130 or something for that. But
Dane, another super chat, $4.99. Do you get Jason? Do you get the super chats now that you're producing the show?
I don't want Zach. Zach lost his half his bankroll on Latvia. Laying it with Canada there, but
I think he lost the other half, laying it Latvia against the United States too, which is
What was the
worst
final
part.
on that one?
I think
I
what
don't
was
know.
it, 4-1 or 5-1?
Yeah.
So they
This
didn't
was,
cover. Weren't
they
they
did
minus
not
5.5 goals?
Yeah.
That sucks. What doesn't suck is this Bama team total over 27.5. Is that the line? I gotta look myself.
No, I didn't.
I think that's great. You want to bet that? Best bet?
No, it's 20. I see. Yeah, 29.
Oh, okay.
If you got a 27.5.
Yeah, I was gonna say, holy hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
I was
got
gonna
it,
say,
play it. That's best bet material. That's why I was like, wow. I could also say like 28-0. I mean, this isn't gonna be good for Michigan. Anthony in the chat, fighting Brian Kelly is gonna bring any effort. +4 seems a bit much. It does, but I mean, they're pretty. They're hurting on offense. I mean, they got their two best offensive linemen, their tight end, who I love. I think a wide receiver. I mean, Baylor's in on this game. They want to play. We'll see. I
don't love LSU in a meaningless spot, missing a lot of guys on offense from a defense that was trash.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I would not be betting over 3 though. I'm not laying 3.5s on Baylor.
That's 4 now. So I hear you. It's kind of a no bet. I kind of lean under. I know the doctor just came in on the over, but I think Baylor will be locked in on that LSU offense. I kind of like LSU team total under. David in the chat, Bama -9.5 first half alt. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I mean, I will
say I've seen some other people talk about first quarter, first half. I would much rather just lay the number over the course
on them.
Yeah, because Michigan's going to go super slow tempo. They're going to want to run the ball. You could have one possession. If Michigan receives the kickoff, maybe you only get one possession or something in the first quarter. So this is one of those. I just like laying the full game better.
Garrett mentions, yeah, I mean, obviously college football bowl games got much more variance. The reason I don't mind the Notre Dame game, should be less variance in a playoff game like that. And then I think Minnesota is just the right side with I mean, if you told me, that's where it kind of was. I think it was 2.5. I have 2.5 in pocket on Minnesota at the opener. So I don't mind that. Dane says 27.5 at Canby. Get your Canby books out. Make your $5.32 bet over 27.5. Joey Pucks today.
Unfortunately, the Joey Pucks originator is on vacay. He went to some spot in California for New Year's with the wife. So no Pucks for a few days, but should be back for the weekend.
What about franchise and your other buddy on player props?
You know what? We will. So let's do it for tomorrow's show. We'll have during the halftime show because we got a few more games going tomorrow.
Yeah, we can a few more games tomorrow. Might be some value. And then we're not doing a New Year's Day show. So that we can maybe we've already given out one. I love the ETN over rush yards. Maybe one or two more for the playoffs. Even I might have one. We'll see. Mike Vivian in the chat. Joey K, any tips for a fan who's going through their schools? Rich Rod, Brady O'Hara. Well, that was rough. They had Oklahoma had an opportunity to put that game away. They had to get up really 3 scores, and they didn't do it.
Listen, this is to me. I mean, this is me, and as a guy who's like a Michigan fan who's going to get buried tomorrow, I don't put any stock. People get upset about the last game of the season. Maybe I'm new school, not old school. I don't care about any bowl game that's not a playoff game. I just don't. I don't care about if I'm in Oklahoma.
They beat Alabama tomorrow, you're going to be chirping.
Well, you might see a few tweet line. I'll say that now, but yeah, I know. I just saw Mizzou 56-yarder there. How much time's left in this one? 5 minutes? 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't hate that. Wouldn't hate that result. But I will say, again, I don't care. What are these bowl game results, Matt? I think it's just a fun exhibition. So it's not fun when you lose to Navy by 1, blow a 14-point lead and stuff. But to me, the way Oklahoma finished the season, plus the new changes, new QB.
I tweeted the schedule. Have you seen the schedule?
I did not see that. Is it?
Yeah, that's why Mike's saying
Okay.
that he's in an era right now.
I was gonna say I don't totally.
They put. Are you and Mike going to the game next year? Michigan plays at Oklahoma.
Is it at Oklahoma? I knew we played him. I didn't know. Is it at Oklahoma?
It's at Oklahoma. Which means no for you. We can barely get you out of the house, let alone halfway across the country.
Mikey V, he will be there. I was gonna say maybe bring the kids. I don't hate the direction of the program. I'm sorry. I know Venables and that. Like to me, I'm not.
You don't hate it? They've had 2 losing seasons in the last 3 years. They haven't had a losing season since the 90s.
It's not going well. If they were in the Big 12, would they have had a losing season? No. That's true. This is the new. If you take the check, I'm going to steal Bud Elliott's line. Take the check, take the losses. What's Oklahoma now in the SEC? There's a 6-7 win.
That's a tough pill to swallow when you're at the top of the heap to the middle of the heap. That's tough.
Then he shouldn't have took the money. Then he should have stayed in the Big 12 and beat up on
that. They should have. I think some
Arizona.
Yeah. That's
just what it like. That to me is like you're Oklahoma now. You have no in-state talent. So you're having to go to these other states and poach around. You don't have that much, as you don't have Texas money. You don't have Alabama prestige and money. You're like a 7-win program in the SEC.
Right now you are.
What do you want me to say? Coach. It's not 2000, it's not 1974 anymore. That's
still tough going from 11 wins a year to 7 like that.
I agree. That's why if Joey K and Brad BP were running the show, we would have never had all this realignment.
I'd have stayed in the Big 12. And winning creates money. You win. Money comes in. I'm just looking at the chat. Step on a duck. Love Step on a Duck. When is Joey K bringing back swimming bets?
Well, duck. It's a little.
May.
Real cold right now. I was gonna say, give me a few months here. Well, after the summer. Also, Chuck on Dabo. Clemson. I kind
of like if Klubnik comes back. I like their 2 young freshman wide receivers.
Yeah.
I rewatched the Texas game. I thought Klubnik played the best game of his career. And if he has those receivers coming back, they got that stud linebacker. They got some guys up front. And what I was just thinking this today, I think they're the overwhelming ACC favorite next year, right? Miami step back. Florida State won't even be close. SMU is going to take a big step back. That is Clemson's league. It's already been their league. But, they are going to be clear-cut favorite.
Yeah. No, I agree with there's something I was talking to a franchise about this the other day. Do you think there is still something culture-wise with the programs that are heavy retainment, high school recruiting, keeping our guys and sprinkle the portal as opposed to just mass portal every year? Do you think those programs have somewhat of a leg up in terms of overall team building in that? It's
a really good question. I think they do. But, ask me after the Notre Dame-Georgia game. I don't know. I just saw how Michigan won it last year. I know how I'd run it. I'm still high school recruiting. And then
Me too.
And then I'll use my buddy Marcus Freeman's quote. We want a minor in the transfer portal, not major in it.
Yeah. So, I agree. I think that's
go out and get I'm losing 5-6 key guys. I'm gonna go out and get 5-6 key guys, and that's all. The guys I'm going out to get are grown freaking men. They just want to, okay, we're going to pay them, but I don't want to get in the bidding war for them, but we're going to pay them. You can come in and do your job. I wouldn't be looking to get 15, 20 guys a year. I can just tell you that. I agree. 6-8 guys that are immediate contributors. Also, I think there's I'm going to profile. I kind of like the FCS G5 guys that got a chip on their shoulder. That they're stepping up to the that they're still hungry. You give them a check and they're still hungry. They want to prove it on the field. So that's how I build it.
There's some sneaky teams that have done well, grabbing some of those premium FCS guys is a sneaky good move. I will say that Michigan took that corner from Albany, Amir Hall, and by the end of the year, he made the biggest play in that game. He was their best corner by the end of the year, and that was a kid who was FCS going that's a good find. You can
Look
find
at
guys
look
like
at Florida State. They're two guys on the defensive front, Verse and Fisk.
Yeah.
Western Michigan, Albany. Those are the type of guys that I go out and get. Kirk in the chat. Who's the ND go get for quarterback? Now the word is they're not going to. It's going to be CJ Carr time. I can't believe
really?
it. I would have went out and got I think they tried. I think they went big game hunting. Ewers, Milrow, Klubnik. They're going to strike out. So,
I mean,
I think they're going to end up having to get at least someone halfway decent as a depth guy. So,
yeah.
I think from all, it sounds like a CJ Carr time. We're going to have fun with that. Because
okay, they struck out on Ewers. Where's he going? Is he really going to enter the draft?
The word was they offered him like $4.5 million. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't want to go to Notre Dame. Maybe go somewhere else. But man, I would take the money if I'm Ewers.
How much? How much is Brock? I don't know.
Ewers to the Canes, Charles. I could see that.
Yeah, me too.
And I could see him paying more than $4.5 million.
Yeah.
They'll pay $6-7 million. So I definitely could see that. That's a team that probably will spend. We'll see if the donors want to keep spending and giving Mario money. Oof, you got to check their IQ level, and that is not good ROI. You got any thoughts? Closing thoughts? I think we had a good show. Do we add any best bets? I don't think we did. The same game.
Warning. Missouri punting up 3. One last dance for Iowa.
Yeah,
boy,
3.1 would be awesome.
If this game could just end right now, that would be. Yeah.
If it was this season we've run well, so we got a chance of his last season. I'm like, what's going to happen here. So,
we'll have
guys. We got a show tomorrow halftime, so there's more.
Yeah, we'll have a couple prop adders for the later games tomorrow.
I'm trying to think. FanDuel moved that line. I don't mind the over in the Buckeye game, Oregon game. Do we have Jason? You make the executive call. Are there enough 55s out there? I'm looking at 3 or 4, but I don't know. Our friends at BetStamp might say different. Are there enough 55s to give it out?
Enough for me. Enough for me. I don't know if it's enough for Zach, but it's enough for me.
All right. Over 55, best bet. I'll own that one. It's part of the parlay. We're rooting for it. I've already given it out to clients. I love it. Over 55. For those that stuck with us today. And thank you for sticking with us this season. It's been a good one. I look forward to tomorrow. That's going to be a fun halftime show. We'll see. If,
it might be a fun halftime show. Might not.
Hey, we said the same thing about the Buckeye game. Look how fun that was.
Unless, Michigan first half money line. Yeah. You want me to get you a little bit on that?
No. I'd rather you buy me some lottery tickets. So, all right. For the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish. For producer Jason, who filled in great for Zach today. Thank you for all the questions, comments, concerns. I'm Brad Powers. Keep in mind, we'll be back tomorrow, halftime, Alabama, Michigan. See you then. You just watch Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel.
See you guys.